Welcome once again to Inner Balance Healing Channel. We are here again to continue with our episodes as we have been doing previously. For those who are viewing for the first time, my name is Trudy, and I'm here to always have a conversation with all of us, get your comments and support where necessary. Today, we are going to be talking about how we can minimize on the risk of getting emotionally damaged easily. In our previous episodes, we did appreciate that many of us are damaged. And we did also come to terms with the fact that we honestly need to talk about our hurtings. We don't need to keep quiet over them because they do eat us up internally. So today we want to see about a few points that maybe we can ponder on and pick one or two or three, apply it and see how it can save us from easily slipping into emotional damage. As human beings, we know that it is very important for us to always mingle with others. But in the process of us mingling with others, getting hurt is quite inevitable. But in the process, as an individual, you need to have an edge that you build around yourself, that you know that beyond this limit, personally, I have purpose to not to go beyond. That is what I'm considering as a point of drawing limits for yourself. In life, when you leave yourself limitless, other people will help you draw those limits. And the limits they might draw might not necessarily be within your values or your personal interests. So it is important as an individual to have limits. Draw your limits as an individual. You know that if we get into a conversation and it is heating up, one of my limits is I do not go beyond giving in a sober or objective idea. I do not take sides when it comes to a heated situation between maybe my friends or my peers. You need to draw limits. I don't need to go into maybe this place at this hour. Those are limits. You are a student. You know it so well that crossing into the boys' end or the girls' end it is punishable. You draw limits to yourself that regardless of what my peers will be doing, I will not cross this boundary. Number two, we can also talk about coming up with personal guiding values. In life, many of us are just taken on by the wind, and that's not a healthy state for us, because out there, everyone has got their values. It's only you who best understands what is best for you, and also putting into regard probably where you're coming from. The values in your home, the values in your families, the value that your parents have been instilling in you, the value as you an individual that you have picked up and you feel it is worth for you to go by. Guiding values do help you to work within the limits we have talked about. If you have values, for instance, if you have values that for me, I don't speak vulgar language, when such occurrences come, you might never speak it. If you have values like, for me, I have to have, if it is my me time, it is my me time. So you have a defined moment where it is about you, and you do respect that, and you do value that time, and you do work towards adhering to it. So having guiding values is very key in life, because it safeguards you from being exposed to unnecessary risks, because your values will guard you. You need to have those values as a person. A value is very pertinent. It also attracts other people to you. It attracts positive speeches, positive actions towards you, because even your peers, will be able to tell that when it comes to this, Trudy cannot do it. When we are doing it, we should keep it away from her. In that way, you are safeguarding your heart from unnecessary exposure to risk or even damage. Another thing that probably we can think about in this journey of trying to reduce or minimize on the risk of getting easily emotionally damaged is the issue of minding the kind of friends that we do have in our lives. Friends are good, but we've also seen instances where friends are influencing us negatively. Friends are giving us pieces of advice that are actually pushing us into a ditch. So the kind of friends that you're choosing in your life are very important. They will greatly determine the greatness of the exposures you're going to have in your life. Because a friend oftentimes has got an upper hand in your life, and you do believe in them greatly. So if you need positive influence, get into friendships that are going to affect you positively. Friendships that are going to speak into your life in line to your values. Friends that are actually aligning with your guiding values and the limitations you've set upon your life. So the kind of friends you have in your life matter a lot. So we need to be very keen and intentional about the people we are keeping close to us. Because we've also seen instances where you need help, you need to talk to somebody. We often run to these friends of ours. So if you have this kind of friends that hardly build, they are just heartbreakers, they are negative speakers, they are persons who do not have any building material, any sensible and valuable words within them, then you're bound to miss out when you seek help from them. So we need to mind about our friends. Be very selective. Look at your values. Look at the people close to you, and then know whom to stick closest to in your life, because they are going to be your closest support or most immediate support systems. It is very key for us, because birds of the same feathers, often they say, will fly together. So if you're going to have people who are insultive, people who are disrespectful, even if you went and shared a challenge to them, because of their disrespectful nature, they'll always give you pieces of advice that are actually disrespectful. So know whom to keep with you, such that you're safer in times of need for emotional support. Another tip could be, what are you feeding your life with? Because just to pick a quote from the Bible says, what fills the heart, that is what the mouth is going to speak. So how are you feeding your heart? With what are you feeding your heart? That is very important, very key. What do you hear? What do you see on a daily basis? That will also, it will influence the way you're going to respond to your challenges. Because what has flooded your heart will easily slip out of your mouth. So we should be careful of what we are feeding our hearts. And that also stretches further what we are feeding the young ones around us. If we are parents, we should also be mindful that whatever we are feeding our children, whatever we are feeding the teenagers in our house, through what they see, through what you're doing or what you're saying, it's going to shape them into that very person as they grow up. So what you feed yourself is what you're going to pour out. We have had children even who go for interviews and they ask them to sing a song, and the only song that can come out of them is the obscene songs they've been routinely hearing or listening to in their homes. What an embarrassment it can bring to a parent. So even you as a parent, as an adult, it is very important to be mindful of what you're feeding yourself. If you're often watching soaps that are that are very chaotic, where women are very disrespectful, they are very demanding, they are very pushy, they are very nagging, eventually that shapes you up. And before you know it all, you will become exactly that. You will surely become exactly that. So what you see and what you hear is feeding your heart. And when that moment a trigger is pressed, you will bring out what you have been feeding yourself. You're feeding your heart. So mind of what you're feeding yourself, mind of the kind of friends or buddies you're keeping around yourself. Put limits around your life. It is about you. Put limits. Draw a demarcation where you shouldn't cross. Then have guiding principles. Then finally, I can also suggest that have a self-evaluation. Self-evaluations help you best to know what kind of situations will trigger you up. Know your weaknesses, know your strength. And when they are trying to trigger you in the direction of your weakness, then you know how to pull out, such that you guard your heart against being damaged with whatever is being said. So do a self-evaluation. A self-evaluation is very pertinent because you know yourself best. Evaluate yourself, and that will help you on how to first read the situations that are most likely to trigger you into an emotional reaction. I want to thank you for continually listening to us. Do not forget to subscribe on our page, Inner Balance Healing. Subscribe, follow us, drop a comment. You can do a like, and we shall continue with our conversations as always. Thank you.